Can someone tell me why I look like a middle school teacher? My chair keeps squeaking on my desk. Stop doing that. Stop. This is gonna be another like Ouija board overview type of video where I kind of want to talk about what happened in the last couple of videos, just in case you guys may have not watched them all the way through, or maybe you're still confused about parts of it, because I know that sometimes they're hard to follow, mainly because one, I speak like I'm a mouse. Two, I cut off half the board because I'm so stupid. I don't know how I didn't notice that, because I notice everything, but I didn't even notice that I was cutting off half the board, and I am so sorry for that, because I know it kind of ruins half of it, because you're like, where's it going? I'm gonna start putting subtitles on the Ouija board videos that I'm doing for the future. That was a comment somebody left for me. I don't know why I didn't think of doing that before, but I didn't, so we'll do that in the future. I also have a couple comments I want to read to you guys. Obviously, I'm not an expert when it comes to Ouija boards. I'm not an expert when it comes to the paranormal. I just enjoy this kind of stuff, and I like talking to people. It's just interesting to me. It's so fascinating. So I like doing it, but obviously I don't know everything there is to know about Ouija boards, and I have never claimed to, clearly. I have a couple comments I want to read to you guys that are just like things that I guess I've never really thought about, because you always hear the negative things about Ouija boards and how it's only evil spirits who come through, and you can never trust anybody who comes through on them, and all this kind of stuff, and they're constantly lying and tricking you and trying to get you to fall for these. I keep getting because my sleeves are ginormous, they keep getting stuck on my chair's like arms. But I think what we've seen from T and even Hank, and hopefully from Hop, which I want to talk a little bit about that, I hope that you guys would see that they're not all malicious spirits. It's hard for me to believe that they are malicious with the conversations I've had with them, and just the overall feeling in the room once you're done speaking to them, or while you're speaking to them for that matter. Nothing ever feels bad. Growing up with paranormal stuff constantly happening to me and my family, I know what it feels like to have a negative energy and a negative presence. I don't think that's something that they can mask. Again, I'm not an expert, so I don't know. This is just coming from personal experience, but I've never been in a situation with them on the Ouija board where I felt a negative presence whatsoever. Like, everything always feels so calm and relaxed, and I was gonna say normal, but it's definitely not normal. You guys know what I mean. So I have a couple things that I wrote down that I want to talk about, and then I have the comments like I said, and I just want to talk about Ouija boards because I love Ouija boards. I'm actually recording this video before you're even seeing the second part to saying bye to T. In the second part, which you guys probably saw, like, what's my schedule? This video is going up on the 8th. So it's been 2 weeks, around 2 weeks probably, since you guys have seen the second part of the Ouija board. So I mean, I haven't even seen your guys' responses to it at all. I'm hoping that it's a nice response, but I'm going to talk as if there's some negative response, because I'm sure there will be. So the first time that Kayla and I used the board, we were speaking to T, and we were rudely interrupted, or almost interrupted, by Hop. From that point, just the negative presence in the guest house, we assumed that he was evil. That is an example of there being a malicious spirit present and it being very obvious. He was very angry and very negative, and it was so dark and heavy, and I can't even explain it. Unless you've experienced it, it's really hard to understand and to explain what it's like to be in the presence of a malicious spirit, or whatever it may be. And from what T told us, I mean, the second time we talked to her, the third time we talked to her, she doesn't like him. He can overpower her, and he comes in during the session, he pretends to be her, which again would obviously lead us to believe that he is bad. You know, he's not somebody that we should talk to, not somebody we should mess with. But in the last video you guys saw, Hank actually told us that he's not afraid of him, and that he's not really sure why T's afraid of him either. And then when we spoke to T was like, yeah, okay, he's not here to hurt anybody, he doesn't mean any harm, I just don't like the guy. Which, I mean, shit happens. T proceeded to tell us that he did take over a couple times in, I think it was our second session with her. Was it second or third? I don't quite remember. But, and T told us that he was kind of taking over during one of the sessions. So their vocabulary is very different. So that's why it kind of seemed off at some point. A lot of you guys caught on to that too, which is crazy because Kayla and I didn't catch on. Well, Kayla said she was kind of freaked out the whole session because of what I saw originally. But I, the entire time, had no idea that it was like coming in and out. Like, I thought I was talking to T the whole time, not 400 different people, or 2 different people. Sorry, I'm dramatic. T is very girly. She's very like teenage girl, you know. She says LOL, and she uses a lot of like abbreviations, whereas Hop literally spells out everything regardless of how long it is, and it's just insane. But then T did tell us, you know, if you want to talk to him, you can. I'm not going to be mad at you if you talk to him, and you're not going to be in danger if you talk to him. So Kayla and I decided that we would try to speak to him, and if anything felt off or wrong in the slightest bit, we would end the session right then and there. We weren't going to mess with anything that we shouldn't be messing with, which again, I know that we probably shouldn't be messing with any of this in general, but we happened to get lucky with 3 extremely kind spirits. Well, Hop, we still don't know that much about. He is a little bit older, He said kind of as time goes on, he forgets more and more. From what we've learned, from what they say, they only really remember things about their family. They don't really remember much about themselves and their life when they were alive. They can remember their age, and they can remember the year that they passed away in some cases, which again are still details that we're not even sure if they actually know or if they're just trying to fill in empty spaces. I have a video going up. When is it going up? I have another Ouija board video going up soon, like very soon, like next week. It's with me and my sister, and we talk to all of them kind of about where they're at, talk about purgatory, a lot of that kind of stuff. It's very personal and very in-depth, what they see and what they feel, I guess. But I mean, the video is definitely more personal. It's not kind of the more fun, like, what's your favorite food? What's your favorite drink? It's definitely more in depth than that. And I'm actually really excited for you guys to see it because it's really eye-opening, especially for us not having any idea what life is like for them. It's crazy the way that they can describe things. Because I've had a lot of people ask me if I can help them cross over or if they feel like they need anything else to be done before they can move on. And I'm gonna spoil it right now just because I feel like it'll put some people at ease. They like where they're at, and they said they're very happy with where they're at. And they actually, I can't remember who, because I haven't even, I mean, this was a while ago that I filmed it. I'm editing it right now. It's over there. That's why I keep looking at it, because I'm like, I just want to watch it. I know for the most part, I think all of them did say that they're happy where they're at and they're almost scared to move on because they don't want to ruin what they have where they're at now because they like it. So why change something that you like? You know what I mean? You guys will see that in the next video, whatever. Okay. What was I even talking about before I went on this rant? I think I was talking about Hop. I think I was talking about Hop and how, okay, I'm sure a lot of you guys have commented or will comment that we're stupid for talking to him when we originally thought that he was this malicious spirit, all the negative presence and all the things T said about him. I completely get it. I was very hesitant about speaking to him. Kayla and I both were like, don't know if it's a good idea because you have no idea. You never know. What if he took over for T when she was saying that he was a good person? But we have codes with T and all that stuff so that we know that we're talking to her. And it's actually something that somebody said in one of the comments about having code words almost so that you can keep in contact with the same person and know that you're in contact with the same person. But what we learned about Hop in the last video is basically that he's older and he's lonely. So he is the most powerful of all of the people, I guess, in that area. See, that's the part that confuses me. I don't know if any of you guys know more about this than I do. Well, I'm sure a lot of you know more about it than I do. I guess I should have asked them this, if there are like regions, because they said that there are 10 or so of them in my guest house, and the 3 of them are the most powerful, and you'll hear about another one, a 4th one, in this video, who we weren't allowed to talk to. Both Hop and T warned us. They were like, he's powerful and he's able to contact you, but don't do it. So you guys will see that as well. I feel like that's another reason why I don't think Hop is evil, like at all, because why would he warn us against this other person if he wanted to hurt us? I don't know. It's also weird. You guys will see that though. I lost track of what I was saying again. I'm sure a lot of you guys will think I'm stupid for talking to Hop, whatever. We talked to him again, me and my sister did, and again, it didn't feel negative. It didn't feel like anything wrong was happening at all. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I feel like that's not something that you can mask, at least not 100%. Obviously, I understand if somebody is able to trick you into believing they're good, but I also feel like there's like a lingering negative energy, if that makes any sense at all. Like you would still feel like something's a little bit off. And I want to read you guys this comment because a lot of people were like, you guys are stupid. None of these spirits are good. Nothing good comes out of a Ouija board. But somebody left this comment on my video. I want to share it with you guys. So they said, I talked to an expert about the board who has been playing it for more than 20 years. All the stuff we've heard about the board is fake. It's not evil or anything. It can't kill you. There are no entities of the underworld, etc. It's just a fun party game. But depending on your mental state, it can be a bit dangerous. Like if you're drunk, you won't have control of your actions. A spirit might get offended and haunt you. The spirits you'll most likely see are friendly. 80% of them are friendly. The others are tricksters. They like to play pranks on humans by pretending to be another. So if you're asking for somebody, like if you're being like, I want to talk to my dead grandfather or something like that, they might trick you into believing that they're that person, but they're not necessarily an evil spirit. It's kind of their way of entertaining themselves, I guess. They literally said, like Hop said, he gets bored, he gets lonely, and they want to talk to people. So he pretended to be T because he wanted to talk to somebody, which makes complete sense. If you're not willing to talk to anybody unless you think it's somebody else, then yeah, they might trick you into thinking there's somebody else because they just want to talk to you. So then they continued to say, if you ask about Zozo or someone, they'll pretend to be them just to get a laugh. Even try scaring you to get a laugh. Just say something about it faking, politely, and it'll know the jig is up and either leave or become friendly. The others are malicious spirits. They do things to annoy the hell out of you and shit, just saying. That is kind of my view on the board. I don't think that everything that comes through is malicious. I do think there are some malicious spirits that are able to come through. Probably very rare that they do come through, but I do think for the most part, they're just spirits that are bored and around. I also wanted to confront the people that think these are fake. At first, I didn't really give a shit if people thought they were fake. If you don't want to believe them, then you don't have to believe them. I'm not asking you to. I make these videos because I find them entertaining. I love it and I'm so interested in this kind of stuff, and I feel like a lot of you guys are interested as well. And it's something completely different than what I've seen on the internet. The people who are disrespecting the board and making it seem like these crazy things are happening to them, that's not how it fucking works. Like, what are the chances that every single person on YouTube has sat down with the board and something absolutely insane happens? They're just talking to you through a board. Like, they're spelling things out and they're having a conversation with you, and it's insane. Like, the concept of it is insane that you're speaking to somebody who is like out of our world, but it's not like, you know what I mean? I literally just went on a rant. I meant to talk about the people who said they're fake. Somebody commented on one of the videos, and this was something that like resonated in me. Is resonated a word? It kind of stuck with me, and it was something that I took very personally, which I usually don't take comments personally, but somebody commented and said that it was fucked up of me to get other people invested in this because I'm clearly making it up, which makes no sense to me. What kind of fucked up person would get people emotionally invested in somebody? Like, I don't even know how to I don't even know how to put it in words, because that's how fucked up it is to me. Why would I sit there and create this like storyline of people who are gonna just like randomly come in, get people emotionally invested in them, talk about people's deaths, actually bring up real articles of real people if I'm faking it? I can't even imagine being that fucked up of a person. It would be completely different, I guess, if somebody were to make a Ouija board video and say that they were talking to somebody who was nice and whatever. Yeah, that's easily something you can easily fake. You can fake anything on the internet. But to then take it to the next level and to bring real people into this, like real girls who have passed away, I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I was faking all of this and then brought actual humans into it and like played with your guys' emotions. I'm playing with my own emotions. All this stuff affects Kayla and I so much. Like, we want to know who T is more than anybody, obviously, and it affects you guys a lot too, because you guys want to know who she is. It's just amazing to me that people think that we would fake that. Like, how horrible of a person do you think I am? And that's all I really want to say on it. I don't need to defend myself, and I know I don't need to defend Kayla, and I don't need to defend the board or T or Hanker Hop. There's no reason to defend any of us, because if you don't want to believe it, then you don't have to. That's fine. That's okay. You don't have to believe it, but don't say that I'm playing with people's emotions and that it's fucked up of me, because I wouldn't do that. Okay, I want to read you guys 2 more comments that people left. I didn't realize I would talk so much about those, but I get really passionate about it. I'm sorry if I mispronounce this. I'm really sorry. They said, I'm a Norse pagan witch who spends a lot of time using the Ouija board to communicate with spirits. And honestly, yes, kind spirits do get bored and just want to talk to whomever is willing to communicate with them. I mostly work with non-human spirits, and they're genuinely curious about human lifestyles, so they tend to speak through forms of deviation as well. It is best to use caution and put in place code words with the spirits so that you know who you're talking to. It's essentially what we did with T. We told her to go to 8 if it's her instead of going to T, so that way, you know, when we're talking to her, or if during the session it feels a little bit off, she can go right to 8 and we know it's her. Like, at the beginning of this video with my sister, I asked who was there, and she literally went to 8 right away. Like, she didn't even bother going to T. She's like, I'm not even gonna ask, so I'm gonna just go to 8. A Ouija board is just about as dangerous as a bow and arrow or a gun. If you know how to use it, take proper care of it, and know the safety precautions, you should and will be the safest you can be. But if you know nothing about it, you'll shoot yourself in the foot, which what we did the first video, basically. It also said, okay, I wrote down like points that I wanted to talk about in this video, but I haven't like looked at that at all. Okay, a lot of you guys were telling me that I should have T follow me to Texas. Here's my problem with that. I love T, and I do believe that T is a kind person, and I do believe that she is who she says she is, but at the same time, that would be asking her to attach herself to me, and if for some reason, some off chance that she isn't who she says she is, I feel like it's very obvious why that'd be a bad idea. But when we asked T if she could like sense when we wanted to talk to her, she said yes. So that was something I wrote down because I wanted to talk a little bit about that. And I believe, I can't remember if it's in the last one or this video. This is why I need to stop filming videos 4 years ahead of time, because then I forget everything that happens. But T basically says that she can sense when we want to talk to her. So when she like wasn't in my guest house, but she knew that we wanted to talk to her, so she came back, it makes me think that for some reason I might be able to talk to her while I'm here. We'll find out, obviously. It makes me nervous because I feel like if I'm like, T, then anybody will come through and they'll be like, sure. But we'll see what happens with that. But this is a comment that somebody left that kind of goes back to that. They said, it is theorized that spirits can move anywhere. They transcend space and time. So you should be able to contact T anywhere in the universe, literally, which makes me so happy. Which, I know these are just comments, and these aren't either, well, they could be experts. Never mind, they could be experts. It's also interesting that she said that time moves faster on the other side. That has been theorized also. For example, a person that has been dead 100 years can say it only seems like 10 or 20 for them, which I thought was really weird. Because when I told T I'd be back in December, I asked her if time moved faster for her. She said yes. So it kind of made me feel better because I was like, oh, well, time will go faster for you, so it's gonna be like no time until we come back and talk to you. But then when he's like, time moves slower, like significantly slower, I was like, whoa. Like, I wonder if she told me that to make me feel better. Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to talk about in this video. I wanted to do like an overview of everything and touch on little points that people are hesitant about still, or still like, you know, the things that people say that kind of piss me off or bug me a little bit, which I usually don't touch on. I don't really get offended easily. I don't really get offended at all most of the time. And I don't really care for hate comments. Like, if you want to, I mean, go ahead and say what the fuck you want to say. I think that's an attitude most people have, but I'll probably never really touch on hate comments ever again because they usually don't affect me, but I'm not gonna lie, these ones did kind of hit me a little bit because I was like, it's not just them saying I'm dumb or calling me ugly or whatever you want to say to me, but to kind of go deeper and to say that I'm like messing with people's emotions and stuff like that, especially for you guys, because that comment is essentially saying that I'm taking all of you guys and I'm tricking you into believing something that isn't true for my own gain, if that makes sense. I've literally been trying to think of the right way to word that for like 5 minutes, but I don't know how else to word it. Like, it's me taking your emotions and fucking with you guys for my own pleasure, which is just so fucked up to me. And it just makes me sad. If you guys don't believe in this stuff, you don't have to. I'm not asking you to, and that's all I really want to say on it. If you do believe in it and you've continued to kind of follow this journey throughout trying to find out who T is, I'm hopefully gonna make a theories video on Hank very soon because I have so many articles you guys have sent me. Most of them are the same article, but I understand where you guys are coming from. So I'm gonna make a video on that hopefully soon. I'm not trying to trick you guys into anything, and I'm not trying to force you to believe something that isn't true. This is stuff that I believe in and stuff that I'm passionate about, stuff that I'm very interested in, fascinated by. Any other type of fucking wordplay that I could use to say I love this shit, but I just hope to find people who love it just as much as I do. And unfortunately, that comes with people who are skeptical of it as well. That's YouTube, that's the internet. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna stop rambling now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a little bit more about the Ouija boards and kind of what happened throughout them, just in case you were confused on any aspects of it. I hope these comments kind of bring some light to the situation as well, to those people who may believe that they're only malicious spirits who come through the Ouija board, anything like that. Next week, you'll have a Ouija board video. I hope it's next week. If it's not next week, then it'll be the week after. It's probably next week. I had a schedule. But I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. My arm just got stuck on my thing again and I almost died. See ya.